Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa Galloway, and this is Beauty from Inside Out. We're going to be talking about brushes today, makeup brushes today, and the importance of how you're using what brush for what you're trying to apply for your makeup application. If this sounds like that's something that's intriguing to you, keep watching.
If you're here, then you woke up today, and that is a blessing. Don't take that for granted. Don't waste it.
So we're going to be talking about Seint makeup brushes because that's kind of what I use for the most part, and I've become quite an expert on using them and what they were created to do. But this can apply really for any kind of brush that you're using. I mean, just so that you have an idea of to get its best and its most out of the brush when you are doing your makeup application and you feel confident in how you're putting that makeup with the proper brush that you're using. But let's get started with the names of each and every one of the brushes that are on the Seint makeup line. Then I'm going to show you what are the ones to start off with if you're going to go ahead and purchase any of the Seint brushes, and then explain how they can be used differently. Okay, so let's start with the names of the brushes. So this brush is called the Blush and Bronzer brush. I think it's probably one of the brushes that's used most in all of our brushes, besides like our eye makeup brushes. The Blush and Bronzer brush is just a brush that is the biggest brush that we have, and it is for all of our makeup for the most part, our foundation and our bronzers clearly. But let me move along to the next brush before I get into more about what that brush does. Here is the detailed brush, properly named. All of our brushes are double-ended, which I think that you can really get your best bang for your buck. This one's called the powdered brush. Then we get into smaller brushes, and this one here is called the blend brush. And then let's get into our eye makeup brushes. So we have the eyeshadow brush, and then we have the multitasker brush, and then we have the line brush. We have the etch brush, the smudge brush, eye makeup brushes. Then we have a couple of other brushes and were created for our demi color corrector line. This one is called the spot brush, and this one's called the wash brush. So we have quite a few different brushes. Okay, now when I a color match, I always include at least two brushes that I believe that are the most used. I may include a third one, a close third one, if you're willing and your budget is in there to afford to get that third brush. But the first two that I always first suggest to get are these two, the Blush and Bronzer brush and the detailed brush. These two brushes, you can almost do everything with these two brushes, minus your eye makeup, but you can do everything for your makeup application with these two brushes. So this one is called the detailed brush, and it's appropriately named because it is shaped differently than all of our other ones, minus the powdered brush, because it is more narrow, and it's perfect to get into like doing any kind of contouring, whether it's like your nose or under your cheekbone. And then of course on the flip side, it has the smaller end, which you can do same thing, whether you're trying to get under your eyes for those smaller areas on your face. And then of course there is the powdered brush. But these two, as I said before, are the two that I always say get these because you can do your makeup application for a while. If you already have any other kind of brushes for your eyes, you can get away with doing these for a minute. So getting into now the eye brushes. I really love the eye brushes for the mere fact that they can be used so many different ways. Even though they were created for your eyes, you can actually use it for different things. I'm going to give you one perfect example, is what we call our multitasker brush. Again, it has the perfect name for it. And I personally have two. You don't have to get two. I do because I like to use one for my shadow, which are powdered, and then I use another one for my lip application. Most of the time I will use like my finger to put my lipstick on, but if I don't want to go ahead and do that and I want to get a lot of pigment on my lip, I will use the multitasker. And the other end is perfect for even lining your lips because it has a much smaller brush, and the way it's angled, perfect for lining your lips. So I have two. Now, if you choose not to get two and you want to use the one for both, then I suggest for you to get a makeup brush cleaner. Now, what makes our cleaner very unique versus what there is on the market is that you can use this spray cleaner to, oh, and it has such a good smell. I always forget that it's scented. Many say it has like a bubblegum fragrance scent, but I use this. I take a paper towel or just any kind of towel, spray it on there or onto your brush, and then you just take and you swirl and clean your brush and then use it for your shadow or vice versa, right? And the whole point of that is because our makeup is cream and we don't want to pull from our powder and then dip it into our cream. And that's why I just personally have two brushes, so I can use one for one and one for the other. But again, if you choose, you can get the clean brush cleaner. I think it works really well too, just to even disinfect your brushes. If you're not into washing your brushes every single week, and I mean like deep washing, which you should do, but like I personally do that once a month. And then I go in with this spray once a week. So this is a great product to have just handy if you're just needing something to clean your brushes, to either disinfect or to go ahead and clean in between your brushes. The other thing is that you don't have to wait overnight. That's a big plus, right? When we do our deep cleanings, we have to wait overnight because the brush, for the most part, is very wet. Let them dry properly. That's the neat thing about this brush cleaner too, that I think that we don't really have in the market as far as being able to use our brushes right away. So you wait basically like about 5 minutes to let it air dry really quick, but you can go right in and not have to wait 24 hours to use your brush. Okay, so multitasker. Love that for those two reasons. Again, using it for your eyeshadow and using it for your lips. The other brush that I think is it works in multi different ways is the smudge brush. And I really don't share this brush quite as much as I really should. I think it's really one of our brushes that is so underrated. Now our smudge brushes, and it was named smudge brush so that you can take your shadow, again, it was made for your eyes, to really smudge in that one pop of color that you want to press upon your eye and just give it that whole, the brush is big enough to do that. One end of the brush is got like a flatter but very fluffy end of the brush, and the other one is more pointed. So you can see the difference on both of these. This one's more pointed, this is more flatter. So On the pointy side, you can really get into really even those smaller areas if you want to have definition on your eyes, as far as having like an ombre look. So that's one way to work this brush, is with your eye makeup. But the other is just to spot treat certain areas. And what I mean by that is, let's say you want to go ahead and you have like an acne that now has a little bit of a discoloring on your face. You can take your color corrector, whichever choice of color that is, and dip into that and pinpoint that specific area on your face, and not have to then put a whole lot of makeup everywhere. If you're wanting to just have like a no makeup look, right, or wear less as makeup as possible, you can just spot treat your face with this brush and not have to put your whole foundation on. So again, very multi way of using the brush. Now, speaking of spot brushes, the two brushes that were from our Demi line, which is the spot brush and this other brush here, this brush is called the spot brush for that reason. It was made and created for our Demi color corrector, which I talked about last week. And the brush on this side of the brush, it is one of the most finest and smallest brushes that we have. And it is perfect for that specific reason, to get into specific blemishes that you have that you want to erase from your face, right? And then of course we have what traditionally most makeup brushes have. It's just called the eyeshadow brush. This is just to get on your eyeshadow makeup, using the fluffy end to get onto that more, the biggest, fullest color of eye. And then it has a dome, more smaller end of a brush. Our brushes are so soft to the face. They were created for cream makeup for the most part. And I've always have shared with those that have wanted to give the makeup a try, and then want to say, well, I have my own makeup brushes, so I'll go ahead and use what I have, but go ahead and buy and try the cream makeup. And I've had them come back and say, it's not going on the same way, or I'm not getting the best application because I don't think I have the right brush. And that's why I say to start off with these two brushes when you're gonna go ahead and give Seint cream makeup a try, because they were created for our creams. Okay, that's kind of it, guys. Really quick approach on our makeup, our Seint brushes that are so good. They last so long. I've had these set of brushes for over 3 years now, and they are in mint great condition. You always want to make sure that you are taking care of your brushes, cleaning them properly, cleaning them often, never soaking your brushes. I'm sure you've probably heard that before. It just loosens all of the glue in the bed of the brush, and you won't have the brush last as long as it can. If you have any other questions about the Seint brushes, about cleaning your makeup brushes, about what something specifically you want to use for your makeup application and which is the brush that's best for that, leave it in the comments and I will go ahead and respond back to you. Until now, we'll leave it here, and I will catch you next week on the next video. Take care.